Good evening and welcome back to Frugal Outdoors with myself, Dylan. And check it out, we're out fishing on the beach, fishing the back of the Isle of Wight, and it's a Saturday night, which means it is comp night. We're match fishing this evening. Now, as most of you know, I've been away for a couple of weeks. This is the first time back at it in the UK. I did take a rod with me for our family holiday / wedding, and I did manage to get a couple of casts with all the kids, but I'll go into that a little bit later. But for now, we are fishing Bryston Bay. Access is via Grange Farm. We're fishing the back of the Isle of Wight, essentially straight into the English Channel, and the target species tonight, of course, is a smoothhound. Let's get set up. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's been a while. It's just taking me 10 minutes just to set the camera up. Forgotten how to do it. So, match night. So obviously, because I was away recently, we missed the last comp, which was a daytime one, and I kind of would have liked to have done it, to be honest, because quite a few bream came out, and as you all know, I do love to catch bream. Now, unfortunately, this venue is definitely not known for its bream fishing, but it is, however, known for its ray, bass, and smoothhounds. So with any luck, we can hopefully get into one of those. There's definitely lots of pouting down here as well. I've had quite a few sessions down here in the past. Had quite a few smoothhounds, but also, you know, lots of the smaller species as well. So with any luck, we can get a fish, one fish, that's all I want. So I had to go through my box earlier today because, like I say, it has not been touched, opened or anything since the last time I went fishing, which is the best part of 3 weeks ago. Well, in the UK anyway. I must say thank you to everyone for all your support and well wishing for our wedding. It was absolutely epic. So yeah, thank you for everyone for all your kind words. We had an awesome holiday and the wedding was absolutely brilliant. There was only the 6 of us, very low key, but it was absolutely perfect. While I was there, I did manage to throw a bait out. Quite an expensive bait, mind you. I went to the shop, I bought a box of tiger prawns for 12 euros, and I used 3 of them. So we did manage to have a little cast, and most of the kids did as well. I say kids, you know what it's like, they're my kids, but essentially they're adults, 16 to 20 years old. But they all had a little chuck. We had 2 casts each basically, but it was a lot of fun, but it was super warm. Yeah, so if anyone's planning on going on holiday, Cyprus, if you look it up, does not get any rain in June, July or August. It was roasting. All right, we're nearly there, setting up. So I'm fishing with my 2 Daiwa rods. This one is a Air Surf, which is the lighter of the 2, but when I say lighter, it's tippier. They're both extremely light rods. They're only about 500 grams. So when other people say, oh, this rod is really light, they're normally around sort of 700 grams. 700 grams is classed as a light rod. These are 500 grams. So with the reels that I've got, which are the Shimano Power Aeros, it's a really, really light setup. This one, the Tournament Pro Surf, is a much stiffer rod, but some would still say it's tippy. It's certainly no broom handle, but I get on really well with them. They're 13'6". I'm only short as well, so I like them. Oh, definitely should have worn my sunglasses. It's not sunny, but it's bright. Right, I don't need 2 finger stools. Right, well, Bryston, it's what I would probably call a mixed species venue. We've got definitely a mixture of ground. There's quite a few rocks. We're fishing the incoming tide, fishing up to high tide, and then we're fishing about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours back down. So no doubt I'm going to have to move, or at least get myself up on this shingle. I'm right at the back of the cliff. Hopefully I'm not going to get wet. If I do, there is a bank over there which I can move to. So being a mixed species venue, I'm going to keep it relatively simple to begin with. Definitely a chance of catching a wrasse down here in the daytime. Definitely a chance of catching a smooth hound. Definitely potential of a bass, rays, what else, pouting. Yeah, I reckon congers, obviously. Good opportunity. We get bonus points if we get 5 species. There's an opportunity that somebody might be able to do that this evening. So the first rig I'm going to use, it will actually be my second rig because I'm going to put worm on here, but it's my bream rig. So we've got pop-ups on the top. It's a 1 up, 1 down, size 1 chenoo. And what I've done is I've actually replaced the hook on the bottom, and I've just put a size 1.0 chenoo on the bottom because I may well put a bigger piece of worm, tip it off with maybe a little bit of crab. Top one I'm just going to put some worm, get that floating up in the water column, and just see if we can't pick something out with that one. And then because my buddy Nick asked me to make some rigs for him for tonight, and he requested clip downs. Now, as you know, I don't really use too many clip downs. I do use a pulley loop occasionally, and I have brought some of those with me tonight. But he wanted just some 2 hook clip downs with some size 2.0s. So what I've done is I've put some octopus beak hooks on those. They're super sharp, super sharp hooks. Quite a long trace, 60-pound line. So it means I can put a nice bit of crab on there. That'll pick up a smooth hound, no problem. And maybe we'll put a fish bait on the bottom and see if we can't pick up a different species. Now I am actually going to start off with a 6-ounce lead, which is pretty unheard of with me really. I do like to fish with 7s. But we're going to start off with 6s on both and see how we get on. Right, quickly go through the baits. Popped into Nobby of Slamfish Bait and Tackle yesterday actually. I managed to pick up some awesome baits. So we've got, it's all still frozen, so I will need to get these out to defrost. We've got maybe half an hour to start, but I've got some nice big peeler spider crabs. I've also got some herring jacks, which are basically small herrings. That's a pack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. Thought they might be quite good for the rays. Definitely worth a shout. They're local fish, so you know, match the hatch and all that. And then he's got some wicked squid in. So I've got a pack of the big boys, 4 pounds. There's 5 massive squid in there. Now I imagine these will be brilliant for bream fishing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using strips of them, either on its own, or I'm going to be pairing it up with some of those herring jacks. And hopefully we'll get into a fish. But let's get the first one sorted out. Unfortunately, I did have a couple out to defrost already. So I've just peeled the back off. This one is actually popping already. Target species, like I say, is a smooth hound. 5 extra points for a smooth hound. And as it happens, it was the last comp I fished as well. But in between then, I've missed a comp. Obviously missed loads of shore fishing, boat fishing. But with any luck, if the weather stays as it is at the moment, we're supposed to be getting better tomorrow. We'll try and get out on the sib. I've missed it. I'm gonna get on it. Get some fish. Get that freezer full. There we go. So I've just peeled that. We'll get some scissors on the go. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I have also got some ragworm. I don't often use ragworm when I'm pleasure fishing, but I do use it when it's comp night. I do find it's obviously quite expensive, but sometimes, you know, if you're match fishing, or also if you just want to get out and just try and catch anything, you're not fussed about what you're going to catch, you just want to catch a fish and enjoy yourself, then, you know, ragworm is the go-to bait really, because everything will take ragworm pretty much. Certainly a lot of the fun species. Right, so I've cut that crab in half. It's quite a small one. I've popped it on my baiting tool. Now obviously normally when I'm fishing I like to use a dongle rig. I could use a dongle rig tonight. I've comped a 2-rod comp, so we're allowed 4 hooks, and a pennel, providing the hooks are close enough, does only count as 1 hook. But for the purposes of this evening, or at least for the start, I am going to just fish a little bit smaller, just see if we can't pick up a fish. So basically what I've done, so I've just wrapped that up on my baiting tool there. You can see I've just put my 2.0 hook just in the top of it, Put a load of bait elastic. I use Baitex just because it's a little bit better for the environment. It does actually biodegrade. Loads of it around the eye of the hook, around your knot, loads up the line. Keep that hook point nice and proud. And there we go. Bait number one, that's on the bottom. And do you know what I might do? Just because I can, I am actually going to sit the other half of crab on the other hook. I wouldn't normally do that. I'd normally mix it up a bit, mix the baits up, but it's only the first cast. You never know. We might actually get a smooth hound straight away, and that would be pretty cool. There we are. Two nice crab baits, reasonably long snooze. We'll go and stick this on the line now and clip it up, and then I'll show you that before we cast it out. I'm really excited about this. We've got ages, 23 minutes to go. Tell you what, let's have a look at this rig quickly, shall we? As you can see there, we got the bottom bait is clipped into the breakaway imp. We come up, that's the snood, £60, and that is the rig body, £60. Now there's a bit of slack in that. That's because both my hook lengths are taking all of the weight of the lead, but that means they won't come unclipped when it's airborne. And then as you can see there, the second one's just clipped into that cascade swivel. We've got two nice long snooze, two hook flapper, clipped down. Hopefully get it out and see if we can't catch a smooth hound. There we are, we've got some nice locally dug ragworm, which I'll fish on the smaller rig. That water's coming up already. I don't think it'd be too long before I'm moving back. So I'm not using massive ragworm for this. Just snip a little bit of the head off. That's a tip that Wayne Hand has given me, because basically it lets the juices flow a lot better, and also snip the tail. So no head, no tail. We'll pop our hook in the end of the baiting needle, keep it under tension, push that worm straight over, push our pop-ups down, and that is going to be the top bait. Just plain ragworm. And then with the bottom one, much the same. Just whack that worm straight on the hook. But what I am going to do is I'm going to peel a little bit of crab, just a small piece, maybe the size of my thumbnail, a little bit bigger. I'm going to bind that and pop it on the hook. So basically we're using a ragworm tipped off with crab would be the term for it. And then we'll just bring those bees. We've got a couple of little glowy bees on the bottom. Maybe that will attract a wrasse. That'd be quite nice. But yeah, look at that. Primo popping. It is quite difficult to get just a small bit of spider peeler crab, because all that gunk and everything inside is kind of trapped in the skin, and there's an awful lot of it. So when you try and cut them, sometimes it can all separate from itself, which can make it a little bit of a pain in the backside. But we've got a little bit of crab there, and more importantly we've got a little bit of like the brown meat basically. There you can see, look, just a tiny little bit. Now this one up, one down, this bream rig is not, this little one up, one down bream rig, it's not a clipped rig. This will just be getting punched out there. I'm just going to pop that little bit of crab just on the bottom. Sun's come out, can't see a thing, didn't bring any sunnies. There we go, 2 rigs ready. Kept you long enough yakking. Let's stick this one on the rod and we'll sit down for 5 minutes, wait till we can cast out, and then as soon as I've cast out, I'll get another couple of rigs ready. Oh, look at it now, absolutely stunning. I've just been down and had a look at the sea conditions, and it looks really good. You see there's quite a bit of colour, probably in the first 150 yards I would say. And we've got a nice little bit of swell. Definitely some movement out there. I just had a chat to Nick. He said he's had a couple of test casts because he fishes with multipliers, just sorting his line out. And he said there was a little bit of weed out there, but hopefully we can cast over the top of it. And then we'll just have to keep our rod tips up a little bit higher than usual. Normally I don't mind having them sort of down this height really, but I think today we're gonna have to have them just up a little bit higher, try and get it out of that weed. But fingers crossed, cast out in about 5 minutes. Well, we're just counting down the seconds now. It's 6:59. Oh, there we go. We cast out at 7 o'clock, so we're casting out right now. So let's get this first one out. Get the crab baits out there. See if we can't find a fish. Well, here we go. Wish me luck. Hopefully we can get a fish early on. That would be nice, and then we can chill out. Let's get right down to the water's edge. Give us the best chance of getting a little bit of distance on it. There's quite a strong crosswind. And there we are. We are now officially fishing. I've got mono on today, 20-pound Sakuma night crystal with an 80-pound leader. And then this second one, I'm just going to fish in a little bit closer. I know there's some mixed ground out here. I know there's some rocks. So with any luck, we can have a little scratch around and maybe pick something small up. Small, but big enough to weigh in. That would be nice. There we are, both rods in. While we're waiting, I am going to just get another couple of rigs baited. Just on the off chance, you never know, we get an early fish. We'll have another rig ready just to chuck straight back out. Massively appreciate everyone's patience as well, because obviously we've had the online store has been offline, but you'd be pleased to know it is now going to be back online with everything available again. We've got some sabiki mackerel feathers on there as well now. We've got more tip lights. We've also got the ones that flash with your bite detection as well. We've got braid scissors, loads of bits and bobs, all the rigs. So yeah, so don't forget to go and check it out. And also don't forget, I've also got rigs down at Slamfish, Isle of Wight. And look at all these birds that have just come up. Loads of them. I have brought some feathers just in case. But anyway, let's get baiting. It'd be really nice if it was a busy night. So I am going to quickly change up some leads. The last cast was just with 6-ounce grippers, but I am going to put 7s on because there is quite a strong crosswind. I think I need it to help drag out that bait and hopefully drag the line out as well, so it's not just going out in the wind. Hello. I think we've got a fish already. Don't know what happened there. It's right on the surface, so it's not weed. There's no weight at all. I think something just picked that up. Ah, there we go. I thought it was a bite. I thought I saw the rod move just when I was trying to sort out. Just sorting out my, there we go. Sorting out my rig bar. And there we go. Well, I did say I've been trying for a bass for a while, but I was hoping for something a little bit bigger. Let's get this one straight back in and we'll try again. But hopefully that's the sign of things to come. Well, interestingly, that was on the ragworm that was tipped off with a little bit of crab. So we'll get this one out and then we'll rebait exactly the same. But yeah, got a fish. Much better with a 7-ounce lead on it. Right, let's rebait. Let's get a couple of rigs ready. Well, I was going to fish one rod bigger, one rod small, but obviously now, because I wasn't quite prepared to get a bite, I've now got basically two bigger sort of rigs out there really, both of them with 2.0. So I'm going to bring that left hand one in now. It's probably only been out there, in fact let's have a look. It's been out there for 28 minutes. Some nice sized crab bait, so they'll be fine, but I'm going to bring them in now. I'm going to get some ragworm back out there because hopefully there's some slightly bigger ones. Obviously a bass has got to be 42 centimeters to be able to keep, and that's our weighable size as well for the map, so definitely need one bigger than that. Well, the rods have been quiet for maybe 15-20 minutes or so. So I took the opportunity to bait up a type rig, really, type conger rig. The type fishing hasn't been as good as it has been in previous years on the Isle of Wight at the moment. Previously, last couple of years, they've been coming through in June. There has been a couple come through, not in the same sort of numbers, but you never know, it's worth a go. So what I've done is I've got a whole herring jack there, which I've topped and tailed. I've put half an anchovy lengthways bound to the side of it, and as you can see there, I've got some nylon coated wire trace there to a swivel, so that's just the sort of bite trace. And then we've got 150 pound mono, a massive crane swivel, and then another 150 pound mono to my lead. Now, chances pretty slim, but I was chatting to a couple of guys and they said they were catching a few bass as well on these rigs, so that's worth a go, isn't it, hey? Nothing ventured, nothing gained and all of that. I did have a couple of goes last year for a tope, obviously with no luck. It seemed to be you go fishing one night, somebody goes the next night and they catch a couple. Somebody goes fishing the night before, you go the following night, you don't get any, but they had them the night before, so it would be very, very cool to get one. There we go. Let's chuck that lump out, see what happens, shall we? Probably nothing, but, you know, it's worth a go. There's a few around, why not? Nick's just had a strap conger, so it might even just pick up an eel. Try and give it as much legs as I possibly can, which, as we all know, is not a whole bunch, but we should get it out there. Hopefully it's come unclipped. So yeah, if that left-hand rod goes, that's when we'll start panicking. I'm only going to put it out there sporadically. I should really be focusing on trying to get a smooth hound, really, but what can I say? I'm easily distracted. Damn. Just got snagged. So I don't like using... Do you know what? I didn't use mono for ages for this exact reason. People are like, why are you using 58 pound braid? It's way too heavy. Well, because I hate leaving stuff in the sea. And now I've just left a rig out there, which is really annoying. So, go straight back onto the braid on that one. Thing is, with this braid, I know, like, if it snaps, obviously it leaves an awful lot of rubbish in the sea that takes a long time to deteriorate, but you know what? My braid's never snapped. If it goes, it either breaks my rig or it'll break my leader. So yeah, gutted. Anyway, there we go, mown over. Let's get this back out. But the beauty of having spare spools is you can just switch it out straight away rather than having to tie a new leader on there. But let's get this in. Well, that swell's picking up a little bit as the tide's pushing in. I'll give it probably another half an hour and I'll probably have to try and move back up just onto this little bit of shingle. But this right hand rod's doing a bit of funny business, but it is the braid, so it is going to move around a little bit. No, nothing on there. We'll recast, and I might start thinking about moving a few bits just up behind me. You can see the high tide line. I just hope it doesn't go any higher than it did on the last high tide. Otherwise, I could be in a little bit of doo-doos. Well, that sun is starting to slowly make its way down over behind the needles there at the minute. I'm just hoping that when it does, it might pick things up a little bit. But there's three of us, as you can see, quite close together here. Got Nick and then Tom. And we've all had a fish, or Tom's had a bite. His was obviously a strap conger, totally destroyed his rig. Nick's pulled a strap conger out, and obviously I've done the little schoolie bass, but it'd be nice to get something else, that's for sure. I'd say the conditions look great. Probably going to change it up in a little bit. I think I'm probably going to get some of the pulley loop rigs out, because I've got some 3.0s and some 2.0s, and that will enable me to put a bait right on the bottom, maybe to pick up a ray, and then obviously I'll have a smaller hook just floating around on the pulley rig at the top, which then might pick up maybe a smooth hound. So I'll put crab on the top and a fish bait on the bottom. But I'm going to leave it as it is for an hour. If we haven't had a fish in an hour, I'm going to change up the rigs. Hopefully we can get one. Right, well, I'm doing away with one of my bream rigs, which essentially I've been using as a scratching rig. And I'm switching it out now for a slightly bigger rig, which is I think it's a pulley loop rig, loop pulley rig. I'm sure you've all either seen it on my videos or other people's online, but essentially the bottom part is the same as a normal loop rig. So that goes into your imp there, but your top snood is basically your regular pulley rig, which then clips into your, if I can find it, which then clips into your cascade swivel. And there you are. So there's your loop, which is your normal like Pompey loop rig. But as you can see there, we've got a pulley bead. So that top snood is on a pulley rig, basically like a pulley pennel, but it's just a single hook. And then I've got a pennel set up on the bottom. So I've got a nice half an anchovy and squid wrap there. Then I've got a nice crab bait on the top hook. Fingers crossed we can get a fish on it. It covers a few more bases. I do want to use a little bit more fish baits really. I haven't fished with some fish baits for quite a while properly. Obviously because there's been loads of smooth hounds around, so it's all been crab and squid. So it's nice to actually fish with some fishy baits and see if there's a ray out there. It's always difficult when you're fishing the matches anyway, because of course could go out and be like, oh, we're going smooth hound fishing or bass fishing or whatever, but you don't catch anything. Doesn't really matter when you're pleasure fishing, but obviously when you're match fishing, if you don't catch, you don't get any points. And it's all about points. It's all about just getting one fish really. So I'm still going to fish with some smaller baits on one side, still fishing with that massive rig on the other side, and then we're going to chuck out those loop rigs as well and just alternate through everything, and with any luck, we'll get a fish. Well, gonna try a couple of bits of worm tipped off with squid this time. I say this time, on the next cast anyway, they haven't been out there very long. I just want to make sure that I'm always 2 rigs ahead. So if I do get a fish, I've got a rig ready to go. And because I'm fishing slightly different tactics on both rods, it means I've got to have 2 rigs ready at all times. Which is fun, it keeps you busy anyway. But so far, very quiet. A little bit similar to my kind of last, I would have said 3 sessions. Have all been relatively quiet. But obviously while we've been away, I have heard that the, might be a bite in the left-hand rod there. I have heard that the bream have come in a lot closer inshore. There's a lot of them coming off the shore now, so it'd be really nice to get on some bream. Nice busy session, that would be fun, wouldn't it? I haven't had one since we've been on the hounds. Well, we've just had a little bit of a pep talk over there. And need to fish a bit harder. Fish harder, get some fresh baits out. I mean, it doesn't do it justice on camera, but it is really quite dark now. To be honest, when I bait up, I'm probably gonna have to put my head torch on. But it is getting to that time, at least maybe the pouting might show up. I mean, I am still gonna be using my bream rig, and that will definitely pick up a pouting. And we'll just see. I mean, we're all in the same boat. We're all fishing the same beach. Pretty much we're all fishing the same bait. I think I'm gonna just dump this one in really quite close. It's the one that's got ragworm tipped off with squid on both hooks. Maybe stick it like 40 yards, not very far at all. That sort of dirty line of water that was out there earlier, it's moved a lot closer in. So maybe 40, 50 yards just puts you right on the edge of it. So that's kind of what I'm doing with that one. Hopefully there'll be some small fish out there. And then the other one, I'm just gonna belt it again. There we go, look at that. That's literally been out, what, 2 minutes? There we go. That was a better one, wasn't it? Well, we got it, whatever it was. So hopefully it stays on. Nice bite. It's got some weight. It's on the surface. What we got? It's a strap conger and a pout, double shot. Look at that. Tiny little strap conger, but the pouting. Look at that puppy. That's definitely big enough to weigh in. Right, let's take this over to Nick, get it weighed, and we can relax. We can't relax, we just want to try and get another one. Well, there we are. A massive 8 ounces, but do you know what? I've weighed in and I will take it. Right, I was in the process. I literally just walked back up with those 2 rigs to rebait them after casting out, and it went. So I'm going to do much the same. I'm just going to top it up with a bit of ragworm again, and see if we can't get another couple. I mean, even if it is just pouting, at least it means we're on the board. There we go. Well, we're definitely getting a couple of bites now, which is nice. There we go, look at that. Stonking big bite there. Oh, that's missed it. That's the second time I've missed it. So I keep casting it to the same spot and I keep getting the bites. So much the same, we're just going to quickly rebait it and go again. But I can't believe I missed that one. So only tiny hooks. Totally did me. I know it's only a pouting, but you know what? Sometimes when you're match fishing, you just got to target what's in front of you. And at the moment, it seems to be the pouting. I'm still putting out crab baits on the other side. I'm still putting the fish baits out on the other side. So I'm still fishing bigger as well, just in the hope that we do pick up that magical, you know, nice 6-7 pound smooth hound or a nice ray, you know, a big conger eel, there's always a chance of doing that on the other side, but for the minute, just got to try and catch what's there. Well, that was a mission. Just had a strap conger take that massive bait with a wire trace. It's literally, I didn't even weigh it. They've got to be a pound for us to weigh them in, but it was maybe, I don't know, 9 ounces, 10 ounces, if that. But it's totally ruined my rig. It might be getting a bite, but we're going to put this loop rig out and yeah, see if we can't get something else to weigh in. Yeah, look at that absolute mess, but managed to save enough of the leader, so we're all good. Well, that's cool. There's a couple of fish coming out to my left now. So, well, hello, it's got weight. What's going on here? What is going on here? Did not see a bite, but we got some weight. Yeah, only pouting and congers. What's going on here? Oh, whatever it was, just went really light. No. So there. What have we got? Actually got a fish on here. Well, goes to show how observant I am. There we go, one there. Whoop. And one there. Right, let's see if any of these are actually in size. Pouting, 23. Well, that one's not. And that one is. Well, one of them's in size, the bottom one. So we can weigh in. Top one I think might be conger bait. I think I'm going to change up some rigs. I'm going to do away with that loop rig. I can't see me getting a smooth hound out of here tonight, so I'm going to change it up and see if we can't get a bigger conger or something like that. But yeah, let's quickly weigh this in anyway. With any luck, we might get a pound in weight soon. We got something a lot better this time. This could be the fish that we needed. It's got some weight, that's for sure. So difficult because I've really not got a lot of room here. I don't know if we got a ray. It's heavy. It's probably nothing. Probably a bit of weed and a tiny strap conger. Oh, there we go. Come on. Can't quite see my leader yet. What have we got? Following it out. Come on. Oh, yes! Come on. Well, literally just said I'm going to stop fishing with crab, and we got the smooth hound. Banging. Got the smooth hound on the crab. Just absolutely slapped me in the face with its tail. But there we go, let's go and weigh this puppy in. Woohoo! Oh, I am so chuffed. So target species was a smoothhound tonight. And yeah, managed to get one. I haven't got any rods in the water, so let's get this one out. Oh, I'm buzzing, I'm shaking. I haven't had a decent fish for a little while. So, I mean, obviously I've had loads of smoothhounds, but I haven't been fishing properly for like 3 weeks, so the old adrenaline's going 10 to the dozen. 6 pounds, 9.5. So, yeah, chuffed. Right, let's try and get some numbers. Whew, and there we go. Right, fishing again. Got both rods back out. I've got 2 rigs ready to go. I've baited up a pulley pennel now with some of the pouting, because I've kept the pouting. They'll either go in the freezer and I'll use them for bait another time, or I'll be using them tonight. So I've got one baited, I've got another fillet, and I'll use the head. So that's 3 baits that I'll get out of one of those pouting. I'm still fishing with the bream rigs on the other rod. If we can just try and get up a few little more numbers, but with that pouting we might get a ray, we might get a conger. Be nice to get a couple more fish, but to be honest, I'm stoked. Our water is right, I can't go any further back with my rod rest. So I'm hoping we're at the top of the tide now. I'm doing away with the 2 hook on this side now. I'm going to keep fishing with the bream rigs on the left hand side, see if we can pick up a couple of pouting. And this side I'm just going to fish with pulley pennels now and see if we can't pick up something a bit better. Got no room to cast whatsoever. There we go. Dirty little eel. I think it's the 3rd or 4th one I've had tonight. But again, it's still not big enough to weigh in. But it's really nicely hooked though. Oh, I think I missed it. How on earth did I miss that? Literally just lifted the rod up. It's only tiny hooks, tiny baits. I'm shouting because I feel like the waves are really, really noisy. But yeah, that did not get hooked at all. Well, there we are. Sorry, the lens is a little bit misty, but that's the last bait going out on this left hand side. Nice little bit of pout in there, all trimmed up, wrapped up. I'll flick it out and then I'll clean the lens. And there we are. Yeah, sorry about the foggy screen. I'm a little bit rusty. It's been a while since I've made a video. There we go. So it's just little, took the fillet off the side of the pouting, and I just cut some little strips. I've been using that. Basically been fishing with pouting on both rods for probably the last hour now. So just in the hope I can pick something different up, maybe a conger eel or something, but not to be at the minute anyway. Not one big enough to weigh in anyway. Right, let's get this one out. Clean those 2 rigs. And hopefully we get a last lucky fish. Oh well, that time has come. I've already packed one rod away. We've got 5 minutes left, but I am going to bring it in anyway and pack up. I don't know where I've come, but we caught a few fish, so I'm pretty chuffed. I'm a little bit rusty with the old filming and camera work and everything, so I do apologise if it's not the most entertaining video to watch or the filming is not that great, but I will get back on it, I'm sure. So I'm going to bring this one in. I don't think there's a fish on it, but I'm going to pack it down, and hopefully I'm going to stay dry on the way back because this tide is pushed right up, and there's definitely a few bits down that way where it's been cut off. Hopefully everyone's caught, hopefully there's been a few fish landed, and hopefully a few more people have hit target species. With any luck, if this wind drops tomorrow, I might even be able to try and get out on the sib, and that would be really quite nice. If not, I might just stick to the shore and see if we can't catch a couple of bream. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next one, please take care, stay safe, and maybe I'll see you out there. Cheers.